Okay, so I think we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining this webinar. As many of you are in the process of probably thinking about what your national report would include, we thought this would be a useful way to share information on how the information from the national report can be entered into the online reporting tool, which is, of course, the way that national reports are submitted to the convention. We're co-organizing here. If we can go to the next slide. We're co-organizing this webinar with the GEF entities, so with the GEF implementing agency. So I know that many of the people in this group are being supported through GEF projects for their national reports. And so this is a joint webinar of the Secretariat, the GEF, UNEP, and UNDP. My name is Jillian Campbell. I lead the work on planning, monitoring, review, and reporting for the Secretariat. And I'm going to be your facilitator and also provide a little bit of an intro to the national reports today. And next slide. So for those of you who would like to switch the language, we just wanted to let you know that there should be at the bottom of the menu, it might be under More. So it's either at the bottom or you can click on the three little dots where it says More, and then you should be able to find interpretation and switch the language to French or Spanish if that makes you feel more comfortable. And if you have any technical questions, then you can send a message in the chat to Martina and then she can help with that. Next slide. So what we're going to do with the next hour and a half or so is that I'm going to give just a very short overview to the national reporting timelines and the template. And then we are going to have a demonstration of the online reporting tool from Blaze, followed by questions and answers. And next slide. Next slide. Okay, so I wanted to start by letting you know where you can find information on national reporting. So there are a number of decisions that have specified how the national reporting is going to work and the linkage with the national targets and with the NBSAPs. When the GBF was originally adopted at COP15, in that decision itself, there was a section on responsibility and transparency, and then more information on that is included in this decision 15.6. So at COP15 is when countries agreed on the timeline for the national reports. They agreed on guidance for the template, and they agreed on a template for national target submission. I'll talk more about this in a second, but the national target submission is actually the first part of the national reporting template. Because the national reports are based on national targets, if you haven't submitted national targets, then the information will be missing. And so we would encourage you to first submit the national targets so that you can report against those targets. Additionally, at COP15, there was a decision to have a monitoring framework, which would be used throughout the national report for tracking progress. So for tracking national progress towards the NBSAP and the national targets. So this monitoring framework, the original decision was in 15.5. However, at COP16, this monitoring framework was finalized in decision 1631. So there are a number of headline indicators, which are part of the core reporting template. There are also what's called binary indicators, but these are a series of questions that will be aggregated into an indicator, basically. And these exist for a number of the targets of the GBF. And so as per the template, which was finalized in decision 1632, when you come to the national report, there's sort of two parts of the, well, maybe three parts of the national report. So the first part is to submit national targets. The second part is to submit the data related to the headline and the binary indicators. And then the third part is to have this narrative description of progress. Next slide. So click through, yeah, so we can see the bottom. Thanks. Oh, thanks. So as I was mentioning, what has been decided is that parties would develop an NBSAP and submit national targets by COP16. National reports are due in February of 2026 with the template in Decision 1632. And then the national reports will feed into the global review, which happens at COP17. So I would mention the timeline for the global review is quite tight. And so it's imperative that we get national reports on time so that there's information to take forward to COP17 to say what's the collective progress that we're seeing towards the GBF, which is a primary agenda item at COP17. And as I just mentioned, there are indicators in the template that the headline and the binary indicators are part of the core template. So you will have three options in terms of reporting on the headline indicators. Either you can submit data, or two, you can use data if it's already available. Or the third option is that if you don't have data to submit, then the description of why becomes a core part of this template. Okay, next slide. So I just wanted to quickly say what's new in the national reports for the 7th national report versus the 6th national report, because probably as you're going through, you're wondering what's new. So the first thing that's new is having the submission of national targets. So the submission of national targets is something that's new, and then the reporting is on the national targets. So in the 6th national report, parties reported directly on the global targets. In the 7th national report, you first say, what are your national targets? How do those align with the global targets? But then the reporting is done on the national targets. If there's no national target available, then you could report on the global target. However, there's information in this national target on what a country plans to do, what the policy actions are, and that is only in this submission of national targets. So this is seen as the first part of the national report. The second is reporting on the goals. So how your country is contributing to the global goals is a new part of the template versus the 6th national report. And then all of this reporting on the indicators is also something that is very new. In the 6th national report, there was no structured information in terms of indicators. And in the 7th national report, this is really a core part of the template. So this is also something that's new. There's also specific questions in the target submission and in the national report related to Section C, involvement of non-state actors, means of implementation barriers. So there are specific questions in both the national target template and in the national report on these different areas. We, as the Secretariat, plan to produce a manual. This manual is at the final stages, and so this will be available soon so that it walks you through information on the slide. So next slide. And then I thought I would quickly just tell you where we are now in terms of who submitted NBSAPs and national targets, as this might be interesting for you. So you can see this is a map of the NBSAPs that have been submitted. At the moment, we have roughly 50-ish NBSAPs. And if you go to the next slide, we have, I think this hasn't been updated quite yet, but right now we have more than 130 parties that have submitted a national target. So we are on track in terms of having a bulk of countries that have done at least this first step, and then hopefully we have heard that a number of NBSAPs are coming soon. Next slide. So now how does this link to the global review that's going to happen? I already said this, but as I mentioned, the global review is what's going to happen at COP17, and this is really built on the national reports. And so this will be the primary use of the national report in the next year, in addition to being a useful tool for assessing your own implementation. If you go to the next slide, one thing that we get a lot of questions on is what is the global review? So the global review is what happens at COP17. So at COP17, parties, many of you will come together to make decisions, and that will include a decision at COP17 on what do we do? We have seen what's happening up to now. This is the midpoint of the framework. So we've seen the progress, and COP will then make recommendations to try to take everyone forward between COP17 and the final date of the framework in 2030. And so this will be an opportunity to reflect on progress and to make recommendations that decisions that take the world forward. And so that's what will happen at COP17. And the global review will be based on primarily two things as per the decision. One is the national reports directly, and two is a global report which pulls together the information from the national reports and along with other information. So this is one of the things that's happening. And as you can see, the national reporting deadline is February 2026. And to have a view of collective progress, really by the SB meetings that will happen in the summer of 2026, the time is very short, which is why having information on time is going to be very important for us in order to have something to take forward to COP17. So I think I'll leave it at that in terms of providing an introduction to what the national reporting structure is. And now for the specific demo on how this looks in the online reporting tool, I'm going to hand over to my colleague Blaise, who's going to walk you through the online reporting tool. Thanks.
Thank you, Julian. Good morning, everyone. My name is Blaise Fonseca. I'm a software engineer with the CBD IT team, and I'm responsible for developing the online reporting tool. Welcome back, everyone, to the webinar series. Welcome back because most of you are returning users. I'm assuming that you have already used the online reporting tool for the submission of national targets. Today, the demo that I'm going to show, you will find all of the features similar to what you did use in the national targets. We'll go through all the features again today quickly. So for the demo purpose, I will be using the test website for the online reporting tool, but you can always, but the same features are available for you to use on the live site of the ORT, which is ort.cbd.int. It is important that you verify that you have roles to access the online reporting tool in order to submit information. You need to represent a government, and also you need to have either of a national focal point or a publishing authority or a national authorized user role. If you do not have these three roles, you will not be able to access the submission section of the national of the online reporting tool. The easiest way to verify that you have these roles, once you log in, into ORT, on the home page, there's a little user information section where you will be able to see your country affiliation. In my case, for my test website, for the test website, I'm using Haiti, and my role is national focal point and a publishing authority. If you are a CBD national focal point, you are automatically granted the national focal point role. But if you're not, then the national focal point for your country can grant you access and nominate you as a publishing authority or a national authorized user. To do that, the national focal point can use the national users menu. This will take the focal point to the CHM. And it's a simple wizard where the NFP will be able to nominate multiple users. So as you are aware, the online reporting tool was released in two phases. In the first phase, we asked countries to submit their national targets aligned with the GEF targets. And in the second phase, we are asking the countries to submit their 7 national report. And it's important to know that this 7 national report is linked with the national targets, because the national targets that you have submitted are carried forward in the 7 national report for your country. So it's important that you verify all the information has been published for you. So I recommended that each country generally go to the national target section, and under the national target section for your under my country's targets in the overview, please make sure that you in the national target section, all your national targets that you intended to publish have a published status. It is important that only published national targets will be carried forward to the 7 national report. If there is any information that is still in draft mode, that information will not be carried forward in the 7 national report. So in case if you see any national targets that have the status draft, you make sure that you publish that information. In case if there's any issue, sorry, in case if there's any issue publishing that particular record, please do contact us, and then we'll try to figure out what must be wrong with that record. So then we go to the next section, which is the 7 national report. As you see, we have tried to be very consistent with the national target, the way the national targets were submitted. We have similar menus under 7 national report. We have all targets. This is where you will be able to view all the national reports submitted, published by all the other countries. Then we have the My Country menu. This is a unique space created for each country, and only authorized users from that country have access to this menu. And all information which is in draft mode is only accessible by those particular users. And it will be only made public once the national focal point or the publishing authority decides to publish that information. And in order to access this My Country menu, you will need the national focal point or publishing authority or a national authorized user role. From the So we try to be also aligned with the template. So in the 7 national report template, we have 5 sections. So we have also created 5 different sections, independent sections. So it's easier for you to submit information section by section. So here we have 5 sections. Then we have the overview and indicator data that we will get at the end of the demonstration. So we'll start with the section 1. When you click on this section 1, you get some little introduction. You can read this introduction for the first time, and then you can go to the submission section. You must have noticed just now that while I was on this section 1, something popped up on my screen. It says like other users are currently editing this record. This may result in potential override. This can happen because sometimes countries have multiple users that will access the 7 national report, and it's possible that you might override over each other's information. So in case if you get this kind of message, please connect with your colleagues and make sure that you are not overwriting each other's information. The system doesn't, the system can only accept information from one particular user. So in case if you save any information and if the user has submitted any information before you, at the same time, you might overwrite his information. When you're saving that your information, the system still checks to validate if there was any latest information that was submitted, and give you a confirmation that if you want to overwrite or not. But it's still good to know that there is somebody else who is also editing the same information that you are trying to edit. So on the submission section, this particular tab that we see here on under general, this only appears on section 1, and it's really important that you make a decision before you start submitting your national report. Is in which language do you want to submit your national report? It is really important because once you select the languages, the system will make you available the text boxes in each language that you have selected. If you submit some information in any language, and then later in the stage, if you decide to remove that language, all the data that has been entered in that language will be lost. So it's very important that you select the language, decide the language in which you want to submit. Adding more languages in middle of the submission process is okay because it's just adding new text boxes, but removing might be a little complicated. You are required to submit information in at least one UN languages. In one UN language, you can select multiple UN language. If you decide to, if you want to submit information in one of your national language, you can also do that by selecting yes to this particular question, and then select the language, the national language you wish to submit the information in. But it's still mandatory that you submit information in one of the UN language. Um, Then on this section, we have few buttons, like you can save draft information. You can do review. Review will show you how the data looks like once you have published the information. The review tab will also give you uh, any mandatory information that was missed part of the submission. You can generate the PDF of this section or print the information. We'll just see how the review looks like. Once we click on review, the system mentions to us that the contact person and contact details are missing. Once you click it, the system will take you to the missing field that's missing. The system highlights the mandatory fields with the red border and an asterisk on the end of the label. So it's very clear that you know which fields are mandatory. You will see some of the text boxes are very different. And this is what we call rich text editors. They allow you to submit information and make your text more like you can format, you can bold, you can add paragraphs, you can add bulleted lists, you can add tables. You can also upload, to make your content more visual, you can upload images. You can also upload attachments, documents, and you can also copy paste text from a Word file. And then the text box will try to retain the formatting that you have applied in the Word file as much as possible. So we'll just see a small demo of how this particular text box works. So I have some text from the COP16 document. I'm going to copy some text from the document. Here we see there's some text in bold. We have some links here, and we also have some footnotes. So we'll just copy this text. And then when we come to the text box, I just say paste. And then we now see that the system has maintained the formatting. We had some italic text and some bold text. We also have the links that were written, and also some of the footnotes that were part of the Word file. They were also carried as part of the paste that we just did. So if you're not very used to working directly on the tool, you can always make change, write your text in a Word file and then copy paste in the on the reporting tool. Also, interestingly, if you want to supplement some of your text with some attachments, you can also do that. We'll just see how we can do it. For example, if I want to supplement my text with some Excel file, all I need to do is like just drag the file on the text box where you want to drag want the attachment to be there. What will happen once you drag a file is the system will upload the file to the CVD server and then generate a link for you with the name of the file that you just uploaded. You can modify the file by just editing the text, and if you want to add any text, you can add to the file name. But as you see, like the file name was added to the content that we added. Also, if you want to make the content more visual, you can also upload images. I will add some. So here I have an image that I would like to upload, add to this particular section. So you'll see again, if it's type image, the system will upload it to the CBD server and then give you a preview of how the image looks like. Now you can decide, because the image might be very big, you can decide to resize the image. We have a couple of different sizes that you can decide to resize it. Or if you want to resize it by you with what you at the size you want, you can move your cursor at the end of the image and then just move it like upwards so that it resizes accordingly. And then it can be resized to whatever size you intend to do. You can also align the image like you want, like middle or on the left side. You have some caption that you can add just to the image. If you align it on the left or right side, you can have the text on the right side. So it's in parallel that you like to. And there are more features that you can do in this particular editor, and you can make your text as visual as you want. You can also add tables and other stuff that you can see on your screen. So it's also important that you make sure that because the national report is a big report, you might spend a lot of time writing text. So, but it's always recommended that you, at a certain interval, you keep clicking save draft so that your information is not lost. And it's always saved to the server so that in case if something happens on your machine, at least some of the information that you have been working on is always there on the server. So the other fields do not need any introduction. They are simple fields and they represent what the template has been adopted. So we'll not go through the templates. Then we just move on to the next section, which is section 2. Again, we have some introduction, we have submission and the review. It's exactly works the same way. You answer a few of the questions which are part of the template. Based on the template answers, you will be provided additional questions. For example, if you do not have any stakeholders, there is no further information required for that question. But if you say that your country involves some and engage some stakeholders, then you will be provided with a list of stakeholders that are part of the template. If you select other, then the system will provide you with a text box where you can mention what the other stakeholder option provide more information on the other stakeholder option. So there are some questions that are hidden, and based on your response, some questions will be made visible. Again, like the section works exactly the same way. We have review to provide you any information that you might be missing, and you can always save information as draft, generate PDF, print. So then we go to the next section, which is section 3. And this section 3 is the most important section. And this is the section where you'll spend most of your time for your national 7 national report information. Well, because this is very lengthy report, as Gillian mentioned in her slide, you will be reporting there are 6 questions in the section 3, but you will be reporting against, you will answer those 6 questions for all the national targets that your country has submitted. So it will be a very lengthy. So depending on the number of national targets you will have that big number of section 3 contents to fill. Very importantly, something that Gillian mentioned on her slides, you are reporting against all the national targets which are aligned with the KM-GBF targets. In case if your country has not submitted any national targets which are not aligned with any of the GBF target, then the system will populate the global targets for you. at the end of the screen. So here the system mentions that you have 23 national targets which are aligned with KMGBF, but not all my national targets are aligned with all the GBF targets. So then I was missing 13 national global targets which do not have any national targets. Then the system populated the 13 global targets, in order for you to report against those global targets. Uh, so, so the easier way to just know that your country has aligned with all the GBF targets or not, the easiest way to do so is go to the analyzer screen and verify that information. I will go to the live site to show where you can go. We can go to the analyzer for national targets. You can either go from the home screen or go directly from the national targets menu. This takes us to the analyzer. You can filter by your country. I will not filter it so that all other countries are displayed. And then you scroll at the bottom of the screen. At the bottom of the screen, there is a party count widget, which displays all the countries that have submitted the national targets and the number of national targets that they have submitted. And in the next section, it also shows you metrics of each national target that are aligned with the global goals and targets. So for example, Algeria has 23 national targets. 9 of them are aligned with the global goal A. One national target is aligned with target 1, but there is no national target aligned with target 11 and target 17. So some of the countries have all aligned with all global targets, but some of countries do not have aligned with all global targets. So it's really important that you verify this information before you start modifying the 7 national report, because that information again gets carried forward to section 3. In case if you think this probably which the system is showing 0 is a mistake, you should go back to the your country my national targets country space and make sure that there is no draft information in your country's national targets space. And if you still think it's a mistake, you can always contact us and we'll try to figure out if there is any mistake on our side. So please do verify this information for your country. So now I will be reporting against almost 36 targets. So it's like six fields multiplied by 36 targets. And to make it easier for you to navigate, because scrolling will be very difficult in this section if we expand all these sections. So what I did was like created multiple sections, and you can select the section that you wish to work on. And the remaining sections are closed so that the scrolling is simple for you. But you can always expand. If you want to see all the sections all together, you can always use the expand option. And you'll see how the scroll bar here on my right side has become huge, because it's too much information that is required to be submitted here. So it's best to avoid slowing down your browser. It's always best to collapse all this section and just work on one particular section that you intend to work on. Also, to make it clearer for users that they are reporting on, the system mentions at the end of the target what type of the target it is. So here I have national. These are my national targets, and when we scroll down, the system mentions that this is a global target. So you have an idea which global target, which is global and which is national target. So we'll just get into one of the national target to add information. Again, this system shows you the 6 questions that are part of the template. They are also rich text editor for each of the fields. You can add narrative information whenever you whatever is available. There's only one non-mandatory question, but remaining 5 questions are mandatory. So once you finish entering information on these fields, the next thing that you have to do is provide indicator data for all the indicators that are linked with your national targets. Uh, so it's again also important to note that you will be reporting. It's mandatory to report the indicator data on all the headline indicators and also on all the binary indicators. In case of headline indicators, you will provide data, but in case of binary indicators, you will answer a few binary questions. There are about 30 or so questions that you will answer. And in case of headline indicators, there are 27 headline indicators for which you will provide data. Uh, it is possible that countries might have aligned multiple national targets against the same global target. In that case, the indicator data will repeat the headline indicators and the binary indicators for each of the national targets that you will see on this section. But it's also important to note that the system only you only have to upload the data, indicator data, once, and wherever the headline indicator or any of the indicator that you are providing the data for, if it's visible on any other national targets, the system will automatically populate that information that you have provided previously. So you just have to provide the data once, and then the system will take care to propagate that information everywhere where the indicator is linked. So here we see the indicators. We get to know what kind of indicators we are recording the data for. So here I have headline indicators. Then I have a component indicator. This is the component indicator that I selected when I submitted this particular national target. So in case if you want to report against more component indicators, you might have to go back to your national targets, add the component indicator, publish the national target, and then come back to section 3, and that component indicator will now be available for you to provide data. Similarly, we have some complementary data, and then in case if you have added few national indicators, they will also be listed here for you to provide the data. Again, it is not mandatory to provide information for component, complementary, and national indicators. It's only mandatory to provide data for headline and binary, but you can still provide information if you have any data available. I'm just looking for one indicator which has binary. Yeah, so this particular indicator has a binary indicator. So here you'll see we have all the binary indicator listed for you. You can click on edit response or add response. In my case, because I've already provided the data, it says edit response. Once you click on edit, you get the questions for that particular binary indicator. You can answer all the required questions, make a review. If everything is good, you save draft and then close, and then the system will highlight update the screen with the changes that you just modified. Then we'll try to upload data for one of the indicators. We'll start with the headline indicator A through red list. I have already provided the data, so that's why it's already populated, but I will show you how the system behaves when you select different options. So like we said, the indicator data, headline indicator data is mandatory, but it's possible that you do not have any data or the headline indicator is not relevant. So in that case, you still provide information and just select the 2 options that are applicable to your situation. In case if there's no data available, you select no data available, and then you can describe the situation why the data is not available. If it's not relevant, then you can describe why this indicator is not relevant, and then just save the information, and then you don't have to provide any data for that particular indicator. In case if you want to provide data, you have two options. You have national data set. In this case, in case of national data set, you will be allowed to upload an Excel file with the data that you have collected. To make it easy, when you select the national data set option, the system provides you a sample template. It's very important that you follow the template that has been provided. These are the exact same template that has been adopted. The sequence of the fields has to match. If the sequence doesn't match, the system will not be able to accept your data. So to make it easy, when you select a national data set, we provide a download prefill template for this indicator option. When you click this option, a file will be downloaded for you for that particular indicator. In our case, this is A3 red list. When you open the Excel, you will see some information is pre-populated. So this is the indicator code, the indicator text, and a series of year for 25 years is pre-populated for you. So now all you need to do is fill in the information that's that's missing in the other four columns. If this particular row has any disaggregation, the information for disaggregation, the unit, and the value. So once you provide this information, you save this information, and then you come back to the screen and you choose File. And you select your file that you just modified. Once you click Open, if the template matches the template that we just downloaded, if it does not match, the names, the headers are most important here. If there is any mistake in the headers, it will not be accepted. And the indicator Excel only works in English language. So please make note that you are uploading an English file. The content can be in other languages, but the headers need to be in English language. So our data was good, and we uploaded the data. The system accepted our data, and then it displays for your verification that this data was uploaded. We have this comment section. If you want to add any comments to the indicator data, you can do so. And then the last option that you have under the source of data is the use available data. So when you select this particular option, the online reporting tool queries the UNEP WCMC's target tracker database and looks for any data that is available for your country for this particular indicator. So in my case, when I select the use available data, the system will query for Haiti, which is my test country, for the A3 readiness index. So if there is any data found, the system will display the data, and it displays the data in the same format that we uploaded previously. So both the options follow the same formatting, in terms of the data. So this is the data that is available for my country in the target tracker information. If the data is not available, the system will let you know that there was no data found for your target tracker. So in that case, you will have to either upload your own data or maybe contact the target tracker team to make sure that your data is available in the global data set. It's possible that when the data that the system loads from the target tracker, maybe it's not up to date, and you may want to modify that information. In that case, there are two ways. Either the system allows you to download that data. So this is the data that I was able to populate from the target tracker. I can click on download, and the system will download this information for me in an Excel format. Once I open this Excel, we have the data that was just downloaded from the target tracker. If you wish to modify it, let's say we modify it to, and then we save it. And then what you do is go back and select national data set, choose your file that you just modified, and you have your updated data for that particular indicator. The other way will be you will always contact the target tracker team and then make sure that your data is up to date in the global data set. So there are two options that you can select. This is like the easiest and the quickest way if you want to modify the data. So once the data is uploaded, you can do review. Make sure that all information is there. Click Save Draft. Yeah, so we selected the use national data set. The system uploaded the information uh, to what we just updated. So like I said, like once we upload data for A3 red list, wherever the A3 red list is visible on this section 3, this data will be populated in those instances. So maybe we have some other instance. Yeah. So this is another another target that I have, national target 23 example, which was linked with the which has the indicator A3 red list, and my data was updated here in this instance as well. In case if you are um, in case if you just want to work on the indicator data at the same time and do not want to like scroll through all the sections that we have, what we have done is we have indicator data menu where the system only lets you upload data for all the indicators. So here we list all the indicators, all the 27 indicators, 15 binary indicators, and then any complementary or component indicators and other national indicators that you might have selected in your national target. So any information that's in your national targets will be indicator information will be populated on this indicator data menu. Here you can just upload all the information. It's exactly the same screen, what we just saw on, under section 3. The good thing is once you upload data here, all the information will be automatically populated in the section 3. So no need to worry and populate the information multiple times. Binary indicator is just like the questions by each binary indicator that you can answer. It's again the same questions, same formatting that you have that you can answer for each indicators. Similarly, you have the same options for component, complementary, and national indicators. These 3 tabs are not mandatory. You can choose not to report, provide data on this particular indicators. So one thing I want to show, I'm almost done with the section 3. One thing I want to show is a nice thing, like I said, like the section 3 is very long. And it's possible that you are in middle of somewhere in the middle section, and probably it's end of the day or like some other matter requires your attention, and you have to close the ORT or like the section 3, and then you go back and you come back to the section 3, and it might be difficult. Sometimes you're coming back after a few hours or after like a few days, and you might be difficult to recollect which section you were working on. So the system tries to remember the last section you were working on the section 3. And once you click on this submission, this section automatically opens the last section that we opened. Now, this is just the first section that we were working on. But I'll try to close. So I'll try to open. I'll try to open national target 1 for Namibia. It's down the line. Save. Oh. And you see like how the system keeps the last section that we worked on the last. So even if you come back after 2-3 days, the system will try to remember. This is about browser history that the system will remember. If you change browser or workstations, it may not work, but it will only work on the machine that you are currently working on. So I think, yeah, also, because this is a very big form, clicking on review will take some time because it's like 36 targets that you are reviewing the information on. I haven't provided any information for my test information, but I'll show how long the review section looks like. So you may want to add more information and do the review at the very end. So you see here, I have 141 errors. So the system is indicating that I have missed all the 5 mandatory fields. Besides that, I've also missed providing data for the indicator data for all the headline indicators. So this is like a big list of errors. And then once you click on the error, the system will just scroll you to the section where the error, where you are missing the information. If you open the whole screen, it will be a little slow because it's too much, like it's a lot of information that you want to enter. So it's always recommend that you keep the section collapsed and just open the ones that you intend to work on for that moment. So then we move on to the section 4. In section 4, you report against all the global goals. So there is no relation if you have any national targets aligned with global goals or not. It's mandatory to report on all 4 global goals. There is just one question that you need to answer, which is the summary of national progress contributing to the global goals. And then you also provide data for all the headline and the binary indicators that are that come under the global goal. Again, you are not reporting multiple times. If you have provided data for the global goal, the headline, the indicator in the section 3 or in the indicator data tab, the information will be carried forward. So in any section, you are always providing data only once, not multiple times. So again, there's nothing much to show. It works exactly the same way like I showed you on the section 3. Section 4, there's not much to explain. Again, there's only one question that you have to answer. So that's the end of the 5 sections that we have. What we did was, this is not part of the template, but a lot of the time countries might want to provide some information that's not part of the template, but they still want some additional information to be part of the national report. So we have added an other information tab. This is not a mandatory section. Here you will be able to provide any additional links or documents that you wish to supplement your national report, and provide any annex data information, additional narrative information that you wish to add to the end of the national report. So it's nice to have this. If you have any information, you can, or just ignore the section altogether. So finally, we go back to the overview section. So the overview section, once you have finished all the entering all the information, you come to the overview section. Here you will be able to validate all the 5 sections at once, just to see how much information you're missing. If there are no errors, you will then be able to publish that information, which will then be able to will be made available to all the other users to publicly access that information. So we'll just see how the validation works here. So we click on validate. So here we see some of our sections have turned blue instead of white. Section 2 is white. Another information is white. So all information has been provided. We also try to calculate some kind of progress, how much information has been provided. So here we see like we have provided probably 50% in section 1, most of the information in section 2, very little in section 3, no information on section 5. So it tries to calculate some progress so that you get an idea how much information is pending for you on your national target. You will not be able to use the publish button until all the sections that are marked in red are turned white. So it's really important that you add all the information. Here we see we have 141 errors in section 1, sorry, section 3, and other sections also have few mandatory information missing. Then the system also validate that if you have provided information for all the headline indicators and the binary indicators. It will also validate if you have initiated a data upload for any of the component and complementary indicator. You have selected some option, but you have not provided the data, then that information will also have to be provided in order for you to continue. So here we have two sections, failed validation. Here the system mentions that you have quite few headline indicators that you have created the information, but you have not provided some kind of information. So there is one validation failed. We have A3 indicator, which has all the data. So this particular indicators have some missing information. And then there's a second section which mentions that we did not provide any kind of information for these headline indicators. So here we have quite few headline indicators which is missing this information, and it clearly mentions that it has not been submitted. Until this section turns white, you will not be able to proceed with the publish section. So it's important that all information, mandatory information is submitted before that the whole national report can be published. And finally, if you want to see your whole national report all together clubbed once, here we have all the sections, separate sections for edit. But if you want to see the whole national report in one format, you can click on the preview, and then you scroll a little bit down. Here we have the 7 national report preview, and it will show you the whole national report section by section at once. It also includes the indicator data that we have provided and all the other responses that has been provided. So once all the information has been reviewed, you can click on publish and all your information should be made available. With that, I think I come to the end of the demonstration. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you. So there have been a lot of questions in the chat. So maybe I think I'll start with a few of the questions and just to reemphasize some of the information. So Blaise, one of the questions that people have been asking is how do they list what national indicators they want to use, and then how do they report on those national indicators? And so I was hoping that you could show, that where the indicators are entered in this national target submission, and reminding everyone that targets are entered actually at the stage where you establish what your national targets, the indicators are entered when you do the national targets, and then those same indicators are what you report on in the national report. So Blaise, maybe you could show a quick demo of that.
Yes, so to view your national targets, you go to the national targets menu. Under my countries, you can go to part 1. This is where you are able to add national targets. Here I have a few national targets. You can add your national target here if you want to add a new national target. You can also modify your national target in case if you want to make any changes. Like for example, if you want to add any complementary indicator or component indicator, you can do so, modify it all the time. So when you are adding a national target,
Blaise,
under the alignment.
Blaise, I think it was also about showing the national indicators.
Yeah, yes, I'm
Okay.
Yeah, so once you click on the align global targets, you have the headline indicators. There you are also able to select component complementary. And then at the end, we have the other national indicators. This is a free text field. Uh, you can add as many national indicators as you like. And once you publish this information, maybe we can do a quick demo. Wait a minute. So I'm going to create two national indicators. Then I publish. So once this information is published, if we go to the indicators tab, and under the other national indicator, we'll see the green list and the brown list appears. Gillian?
Yeah, so then, as you've mentioned, then once you have entered it, then you can add the data here. Now, another question that has come up related to how you actually add the data in these Excel templates, and we are working to provide some additional guidance on this, particularly on the disaggregations. But there's been a few questions on if you upload an Excel file that has multiple indicators. Is this okay? Which it should be as long as you've used the codes. And also on what happens if you have missing data in the Excel file, which again, this should be fine. It will just show up as missing on our side. And can you can provide additional years, you can provide anything in the as long as it matches the format. But maybe, Blaze, if you want to re-show that template for the data and walk through what the different options are in terms of if you wanted to alter this Excel file, what could you alter and still have the information get uploaded?
Right. So right now, the system only allows uploading one indicator at a time, but we do have plans to allow uploading data for all the indicators at once. So you will have an option here to upload data at once for all the indicators. Right now, you can only upload one indicator at a time. So maybe we can just do another component, another headline indicator. So we click on add data. We have four options: no data available, no relevant. This is when you do not have any information data available. If you select national data set, you can download a pre-filled template. You just click on this option. This will download you a sample template for that particular indicator. This will pre-fill the codes for that headline indicator or the indicator that you just download the information for. This is just a title. And then we have the other options that where you provide information for. The system pre-fills a series of 25 years for you. You can decide to add more years or reduce the years or decide on the number of records you wish to add. Once you fill in the information, you just need to upload that file, and then the system will display that information. So for test, I'll just select the data here, but as you see here, the system is not able to recognize because we did not have any information in the value section. It says like not a number, it's expecting a value. So you will not be able to proceed with this particular thing. The other option that you have is you can also select the use available data set, which then again queries the target tracker system and looks for any information that might be available, any data that might be available for your country for that particular indicator. So right now there is no information available. We provide you a link to the target tracker for your country. So once I click on it, it will take you to the target tracker website, and it will just show you all the information that's available for your country and the targets that you have. Gillian?
Okay, thanks. I think another question, which I think is quite useful, is how do you generate a PDF of the entire report when you're finished? There have been a number of questions on this, and so I know that just to let people know how to do this.
Yeah, so sorry. Right now, the PDF option is not visible, but once you click on preview, once you click on preview, you will have an option, PDF and print option, just like you have in the other sections. That will let you generate the PDF of the whole national report altogether. Right now, you can still generate PDFs of the sections. So once you go to this section, you can generate PDFs for this particular section only. But that option for all together will be made available soon.
So I think I don't know if anyone has additional questions they want to raise. I'll run through some of the other questions that I've seen in the chat that I think are maybe interesting for people to understand. One is, which was just mentioned also when Blaise was talking about the indicators, but the national targets. Yes, you can absolutely edit them before submitting the national report, even if you've already submitted. Actually, it's encouraged that you review this information because it is the basis for the national report. So the national targets can, even if you've submitted, you can edit and then resubmit, and then that way you'll have the most up-to-date information when you start your report. Similarly, there's been a number of questions on the template for the national report. So in the COP decision 1632, the reporting is done on the basis of national targets. And so if you look at that reporting template, it says that the national targets are being pre-populated from the national target submission. And this is why there's not an offline version of the national reporting template that's available. Because in order to create an offline version, you would have to first have you would have to somehow have the information on the national targets online anyway, because that information is then populated into the national report. So an offline version would be incredibly difficult because you would have to be going back and forth between these two templates that are referenced in the COP decision. As I said, because it uses this phrase pre-populate, it's really implying that it will be an online version, because there's pre-populating something offline is it's much more complicated, as you can imagine. So that's the one comment. I think there's a number of comments. Well, there was a comment on what about the non-state actor information, which may be useful for people when they're working on the national report. This is something that we are working on. I don't have a good date to share at this moment, but I will certainly share more information later. I'm sure we'll be issuing a notification at some point soon on this. Another questions related to how much progress will we actually see in the national reports based on the fact that many countries are just getting started. I think that this is very true. However, the national report is an opportunity to to say what's been done so far, to look at the policies that have been put in place. And this is the first chance that we really will have to see what's happening in terms of the national implementation. And so it is very much encouraged that it's taken seriously, I think, by the COP has encouraged parties to do this. I think that those are the bulk of the questions that I have seen. I do see that there's a lot of questions on the indicators and how the indicator reporting will work and what information is available in terms of the indicators. I will say we are still working on this and trying to get data from different global entities. We're doing this in collaboration with the National Target Tracker of WCMC, and so that there is data that you can view there. We can put the link to this perhaps in the chat, but based on the number of comments, I would say that probably we will try to do an additional webinar on this, on the topic of the indicator reporting, as I believe that this is an issue that's very interesting for a lot of people. So we will have, I see questions on the hotline. Yes, there's an email address that's mentioned in the chat, but also you can find it online or just email the Secretariat at CBD. And yes, it's mea.cbd-monitoring-support@un.org is the direct way to contact us, but you can also send an email to Secretariat and it will get forwarded. And we will have a help desk at SABSTA, and so you can definitely bring issues to us in person there if you have issues. And I believe that is pretty much it from what I've seen in terms of the questions. And so now in terms of closing remarks, I also have the colleagues that we've co-organized this event with from UNEP and UNDP that are online. And so yes, great. I will hand over to Tanya McGregor from UNEP, who is working under the UNEP side for implementing the GEF project, which is on the national reports, and to Christina Supples, who is working on the UNDP side on the same project, to briefly reflect on the discussion, and perhaps they can also mention some of the support that they are able to provide if you would like to reach out to them as well. Thanks. So over to you, Chrissy or Tanya. We can't hear you. I see you talking.
Oh, hi. Thank you so much, Jillian. And Tanya, I see that your screen is just black. Do you have a connection issue? Okay, well, maybe while we're waiting for Tanya's platform to come back online, I'll just give some brief remarks. Thank you everyone for joining us today. It's great to see such high attendance. We had over 200 colleagues join the webinar and for the rich engagement during the session. Tanya's messaging me that she does have some connection issues. I wanted to congratulate the Secretariat of the CBD for their work on this online reporting tool and to commend all of the countries that joined us today for their eagerness to begin to use it. This is an important milestone towards the February deadline. Your comments reinforce this shared commitment that we all have to see across regions on how we can advance national reporting and strengthen this important element of the convention and its implementation. The level of ambition of which the parties that I work with and speak to regularly, and also all of those that attended today, and how they're approaching national reporting and indicators is inspiring, especially these efforts to work to submit these reports by February 2026, which is fast approaching. I'll just say that the seventh national report is not just a commitment that parties have made, but it's such an important mechanism, as we've discussed in this call, to assess global progress towards achieving the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. And these national reports are going to help us tell the story of how countries and all of us are translating global ambition into national action. So thank you for that. And the seventh national report is providing this important chance, especially with the support of the GEF and the enabling activities, to reflect on the achievements, to better understand the barriers, and to strengthen national ownership of these biodiversity strategies as soon as these national biodiversity targets are committed, and even while we're co-writing in BSAPs across the world in many places, or actually turning them into policy for the first time since the NBTs have been adopted. So the content of these reports is a great opportunity to speak to these national realities, priorities, and progress. And as Jillian mentioned, when we talk about the type of technical support that's available, we also recognize that this is the first time that all countries are going to be reporting on their national targets for the first time, and there could be many challenges as well as opportunities. So sessions like this and your openness is what can help us deliver demand-driven support to you. So discussions like today are a valuable step forward, and we hope that you're starting to feel better equipped to move ahead with your reporting process. We'll work to partner with the CBD and others to continue to host these very informative webinars and working sessions. We're also partnering with the CBD on the NBSAP dialogues and workshops, either in person or virtual, where you can discuss indicators, national report questions, and then work with peers in the region. We'll be working on organizing a half-day workshop on the margins of substrate in Panama this fall. And then we also have the help desk staffed with many languages. We actually speak Arabic, Russian, English, Spanish, and French now. So you could write to your liaisons with the questions that you have, and they could help you connect to the right kind of support. And then we also have access to reporting and indicators experts that could work with you to get your questions answered. So that's just a brief introduction to the support. We really look forward to continuing to work with you on this journey of the GEF-8 program. And then for all those who are doing national reporting, thank you again for this work. Tanya, I don't know if you're back online.
I hope you can hear me now.
Yeah, perfect timing. So with that,
Okay, great.
I'll say I look forward to working with all of you on the months ahead, as do all the colleagues at UNDP and supporting this project. And I'll turn it over to Tanya. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Chrissy, and thanks, Jillian, and thanks to all of you for joining today. I know it was a lot of information in an hour period, and there's a lot to absorb. So we will definitely be sharing the recording and the slides from this, but also following up with you on this process as we move forward. I saw one of the questions in the chat, and I apologize, just as I was about to speak earlier, my system froze and now I'm joining on my phone. But I saw one of the questions was from someone was around the GEF early action support and MBSAP update and seventh national report projects. If the implementing agencies are aware of the reporting deadline, and as Chrissy has said, and I can confirm now, we are very much aware of that, and we are working in collaboration with CBD to try and ensure that we can get support to countries as much as possible and as quickly as possible, and in ways that are tailored to country needs, so that you will be in a position to be able to submit some information for the seventh national report and to be able to contribute to the global review that, as Jillian mentioned, is one of the processes in which the information from the seventh national report will contribute to. So in addition to the different elements and activities that Chrissy has mentioned, UNEP is also working with the CBD to support regional engagement and discussion through regional dialogues. One has already been held in Southern Africa with Anglophone African countries, and the Technical Support or Scientific Cooperation Center, SANBI, in Southern Africa, and the Regional Center in Kenya, to kind of build connections and begin a discussion related to the processes towards completing the seventh national report. There was equally a similar regional dialogue that was held with Pacific Island countries, and we are now working towards preparing similar dialogues for Francophone African countries in West Africa, and also in Central and Eastern Europe and Latin American and the Caribbean. So these are among the steps we are taking to ensure that there is information shared in different ways, and that we can continue to follow up with countries to get an understanding of what your needs are and how we can work with regional organizations, as well as individuals in countries at a national level, to really be able to assist you along the way in this process. And I know this is complicated and may be difficult to get a full handle on, as it is a new process and there's more steps involved in entering the data. But as Jillian mentioned, there will be opportunities, and we will follow this up with another webinar so that this isn't a standalone kind of communication on what is required and how to complete the steps involved in submitting the information. So with that, I just want to reaffirm the assurance from UNEP's side that we are really paying attention to country needs and working in collaboration with UNDP and CBD and other partners to ensure we can help you along the way. So thanks very much, and I'll hand it back to Jillian.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And it was really great to have so many people engaged, as mentioned by my colleagues. I hope that this was useful. I do see that it was a lot of information. And so I think from our side, we'll definitely be thinking about perhaps breaking some of this down and providing it in smaller bits as we move forward, because I'm sure that, well, I'm hoping that you have less questions than you came in with, but it's likely that you now also are going to be looking at this and having more questions. And so we want you to know that we are available. And as I said, we will be trying to provide as much information as we can so that we can see a high level of national reports. Okay, thank you so much. Bye all.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.